yourself and being able to be part of something, really. Isn't that what we all want, is to be part of something?
I was smiling and I wasn't even trying to smile.
Who knows, maybe I didn't sign up for that play when I was 6. I would be such a different person right now.
I would absolutely not be at UVA, and maybe not in college at all if I'd never taken that one theater class.
I'm Melissa Charles, and I'm the founder and artistic director of DMR Adventures. Right now, the biggest base of our students are between the ages of 8 and 16. We offer a lot of educational programming in the performing arts here at DMR, everything from audition training to musical theater, acting and improv technique, on-camera acting, and we're also starting to offer some technical theater classes this summer. We've done some makeup workshops and lots of master classes with Broadway and Hollywood professionals. And I've been doing that since I started in Danville in 2008, 2009. Another aspect of DMR that I think is unique and that is a really important part of it is our youth leadership program. So I take kids who are really interested in pursuing theater as a profession, and not necessarily as an actor, but just are really interested, and try to find ways that they can get involved behind the scenes. So I have students that have been costume designers, lighting designers, directors, choreographers, music directors. They really take a leadership position, and they grow and learn so much from that. And many of the students who've gone through the youth leadership program have come back and taught as a teacher.
I'm in the mood to help you, dude. You ain't never had a friend like me.
Hey.
Wah, oh my, wah, no, wah, na na na.
So Grayson Taylor, he's always been an incredible singer, and he went from, oh my gosh, looking back at videos of him, he's just like a little baby, and now his voice has changed and he's growing into a man. He just started in 13 where he's saying, I'm becoming a man, over and over and over. And he's gone from, someone who was kind of green and new to auditioning to playing leads at live arts, like I mentioned, to music directing shows for us and our Junior Stars troupe. And he was also the leader of our newly formed a cappella group. It's really cool like that to see the growth from being someone who's just an active participant to truly a leader.
Projection rooms to the reels up, film for the Bloodmaster. Chicken in the hall where they're showing Bambi. Switch the reels, leave the theater. Tell the guys we're gonna go see Bambi. What could go wrong?
When I was younger, I was still stuck in the mindset of you're a boy, you have to do sports. And my mom one day, I've always been kind of into singing, and one day she was like, hey, do you want to go try acting? And I was like, sure. I got to the audition and I read the scene synopsis instead of my lines. It took a lot of shows actually until I got recognition. I guess I was ensemble for a lot of my first shows. I think I want to say my first 4, 5, 6. And then I did Secret Garden, and I was Colin, and that was my first role, and I was like, whoa, I can actually go somewhere with this, and that'll be fun, even though ensemble's a really fun thing. Recently, I've been stepping into a lot of leadership roles, and I think that's really fun, getting to piece it all together in your own way. Last fall, I musically directed a troupe going into a competition or two. Yeah, and then I did a couple shows. I did 13, in which I was assistant music director. And going into the summer, there'll be, 2 or 3 shows we're musically directing. 13, the most recent show we were in, I had to completely reinvent myself. I would have to come to rehearsals in different clothing, different hair. It was a process, and it was really fun watching myself, become a different person. It's very different from, the quirky sidekick role that I usually get cast in, because in a lead part, you have to show all of your emotions. There's no, hiding behind humor or comedy or anything like that, because you have to deliver a raw performance of this is what this character is feeling at this moment, and now I'm going to sing about it. And it's a very scary thing, because you're literally exposing all of your interior emotions to everyone.
started doing theater at this kids theater company. I lived in New York at the time, called Random Farms, and they would do like, I think it was like 25-minute versions of like Broadway shows like Sound of Music, Wizard of Oz, for little kids. So the first one I ever did was The Wizard of Oz, and I was the lion, and I was actually 4 years old. 3 years ago, when I was 13, I started a little kids theater group in my basement, and the first thing we ever did was The Wizard of Oz, and it was like a 25-minute production, like very similar to the one that I first did when I started theater, and I've been doing a lot of stuff with that ever since.
So do I wait, acting fake till she makes a mistake, or do I take the reward that I really wanna take? If I prayed to God and cried a little, maybe He'd provide a little OPP opportunity.
I think my favorite part about DMR is just how much leadership we all get, and how there's so many, everyone has like so many different talents, and they're all like showcased in such a different way, but we all can just like come together and do this. Yeah, there's such a wide age range, so I think it's really great like for the younger kids to kind of be able to like look up to like the older kids like in the youth leadership program and stuff as like role models, just because there's so much like leadership opportunities. And then the kids is interesting because like there's some people that kind of when they started DMR like were like much more shy and stuff, but now are like leading things and doing all this stuff. The first time I was part of the youth leadership program in DMR was in Cinderella, which was 2 years ago, and that was kind of like the first full production DMR has ever done. Later into it, I started assistant directing. The first show I assistant directed was Annie Jr. last year, and then this year is the first time actually directing a show at DMR, which is Aladdin Kids.
I have a student from our Danville DMR who is just an incredible writer and actor and person, and she helped me found the Union Street Theater as a student. I think she was only in the 10th grade when she did that, and she eventually got a full scholarship to a boarding school, and they were able to give her a lot that our public schools couldn't. And then now she's a third year EVA, again on a full scholarship. So it's been incredible to watch her success story, and her involvement in DMR has continued.
Yes. My name is Michaela Campbell. I'm a third year, and I'm an English major, drama minor. My first experience with theater was this musical theater introduction kind of class with DMR. It was called Broadway Baby, and it was just something completely new to me. I took the class when I was 14, and if I'm honest, like the first 2 or 3 weeks, I really did not like it. It was like so, I can't even explain how far out of my comfort zone it was. I like never talked in school. And then Melissa was asking me to do all these things. She was like, act like a bully, act like you're mad at people. And I was like, I'm gonna act like I'm mad at people, they're gonna hate me. I was so worried about how people perceive me. I never, for a while I thought I would finish off the class. So yeah, I definitely did not anticipate that like I'd stay involved for like 7 years and like still be working in a box office, surrounded by theater people all day. I'm just so intensely grateful that she trusted me to like try something new and then, succeed in it.
I would say the mission when I first started DMR was a little bit different. It was about training professionally, but it was also really about giving opportunity and access to performing arts and performing arts education to students who truly didn't have the opportunity. So much when I began DMR was about scholarship and really helping those students who couldn't afford that type of training. And so the success stories, those success stories look different. It's like the kids finish school, or they got into a college when maybe they weren't even looking at graduating from high school. You know, some students just simply finishing a production and feeling that success of from start to finish, getting through it, that was a huge success. I mean, I know it might not seem like the same thing as a Broadway caliber success story, but those are the things that really stick with the kids and, you know, help them become leaders and confident enough to succeed in whatever area they go into in life.
I think theater is like generally a very safe space to be vulnerable with other people, and in doing that, you learn to develop empathy and you make some of the best friendships you can possibly make, and you can discover like a new passion and become a better communicator, a better leader, a stronger human being. You learn to take criticism. I mean, the rewards are just endless, I think. And it doesn't have to be like, you know, your life #1 passion that you want to do forever, but you can still reap all those benefits.
It can really help them find themselves. That's what it did for me. Is I used to be a very like shy and timid person, and I wasn't really much into expressing my own opinions and beliefs. And through theater, I learned that it's people like to hear your voice, and it's nice.
The scariest thing about theater and doing shows is like you kind of never know what's coming. Yeah, I think it's definitely just taught me how to kind of like roll with things going wrong and mistakes, and yeah, really like to work as a team.
It's very different for every person. I know for me, it gave me something to be passionate about, and it gave me something to enjoy. For other people, it might be, this is my sanctuary, this is where I can be myself, some people, this is where all my friends are, some people, this is where I can truly like do what I love or lead others in what I love. It's different for everyone.
The collaboration and the creativity and the discipline that's involved in putting on a production is so important for kids. And like, even if they're not interested in being in the arts at all, those are things that can carry them through and give them a leg up in any sort of career that they go into. Finding your voice, being able to speak up and speak loudly, speak clearly, and to speak up for yourself are all things that are learned